What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving into a Phylath is King deck, and this is going to be an awesome countery, Phylath-y, planty, beautiful deck, right? Anyways, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the deck tech breakdown without, any of that beginning hodgepodge or whatever. So first off, we have 2 copies of Gilded Goose. This is going to allow you to ramp up and play, obviously, things like your Phylath and your other big mana cards later. 3 copies of Ranger's Gals to help protect your Phylaths and your other creatures that are going to help ramp you into your Phylath, right? 3 copies of Ozolith, because this is a +1/+1 counters deck. We all know Phylath has those counters to the plants, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? Not to mention the fact that you are going to have other creatures later, such as Stonecoil and Wildwood, that just have normal +1/+1 counters on it, and you don't want to lose those. As I just mentioned, Stonecoil and Wildwood, they're going to be your counter sources, right? You just have extra mana, you throw these creatures down with however many counters, and then later on you'll see we're going to be boosting these cards up. So, Reach, Trample, and Protection from Multicolored, super strong on the Stonecoil, and then of course Wildwood gets additional counters whenever other non-Hydra creatures gain counters. So, it just gets really big really fast, essentially. Moving us into the true drop slots, into the 2 drop slots, we have 2 copies of Basri Solidarity. This gives a +1/+1 counter to each creature you control, which obviously with the Wildwood and with your Conclaves and all that kind of stuff, you can end up getting a ton of counters on all your creatures all at once, and then you swing all in, and it's sort of a beautiful fiery way to end the game. Next up, we have Fearless Fledgling, another card that is sort of slept on right now. 2 mana for this 1/1. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Fearless Fledgling. It gains flying. That is the biggest key part of this card. The counters are really, really nice. It's what allows it to play within this deck. But the flying is what makes it so special, because then it just gets so big and, well, goes over your opponent's head, right? Not to mention the fact we have Conclave Mentor in the deck, as I said earlier, so whenever you put a land down, it's not just going to gain 1 +1/+1 counter, it's going to gain 2 +1/+1 counters and flying, so it's just going to get really big really fast. Luminarch Aspirant, 2 mana for this 1/1. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It's really good. Obviously, it's going to proc your Wildwood if you select a different creature. It helps with your Fearless to get bigger. Yeah, it's your initiator, I guess. It's your +1/+1 counter engine. 1 copy of Heroic Intervention to protect your board state. 4 copies of Conclave Mentor, because this is the beauty, the card that came out and turned all this counter magic, not counter, you know what I'm saying, into a playable thing. So 2 mana for this 2/2. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead, and whenever Conclave Mentor dies, you gain life equal to its power, which is probably the nicest thing about this card in all secret actuality, because it means that you can play this card, and even if you're doing bad, even if aggro smacked you around a little bit, you can allow it to die, you can gain the life, and you can come back a little bit and, scramble something together. Next up, we have Shatter Skull Smashing. As this is going to be a Naya deck, this is going to allow us to, have removal in those mid to late game situations and have a land in those early game situations. Moving us to our 3 drops, we have this interesting card, which I'm sure most people wouldn't find in a counters deck, but honestly, with Luminarch Aspirant, it's really, really pretty good. So 3 mana for this 4/3 with Trample and Haste. What? What? Kicker of 2, if Shatter Skull Charger was kicked, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, if Shatter Skull Charger doesn't have a +1/+1 counter on it, return it to its owner's hand. So if you don't kick it, you got to return it, right? Which in some cases is okay. If your opponent's playing a very removal heavy sort of sorcery spelly deck, that's perfect. You want to swing in, you want to hit, and you want to bounce it back so they can't remove it. However, the nice little cheaty way to play this card in this deck, you play down the Shatter Skull when you have a Luminarch Aspirant or when you have an Ozolith, and then you just get to put counters onto it, right? Immediately. So 3 mana, you get a 4/3 with counters, with Trample, with Haste. That's probably going to be a 5/4 at least, right? If you're using Luminarch or Ozolith. So yeah, 3 mana, 5/4, Trample, Haste. Yikes. Cultivate, really good at drawing you out your cards, and of course, since we're playing Phylath, and this is a Phylath is King deck, we want those basics. We want them on the field. Now, we're going to be playing a lot of basics just from our hand, and that's going to work perfectly fine for us, but we want some way to grab them to make sure we can get to that Phylath mana, to make sure we can get to the Shatter Skull Charger mana, all that good stuff. Orin Reef Ruse, or Orin Rife Ruse, I don't know. I'm not the best with the names. 3 mana, 2/2. Whenever it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and then whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control that has a +1/+1 counter. So, it gets ridiculous. It's like a Basri Solidarity attached to a creature that also acts as a counter generator when it enters the battlefield. I don't know. It's crazy. It's good. It's crazy good, some might say. Moving us on to our four drop slots, we have Basri's Lieutenant, which is going to allow us to put counters on our creatures, as well as get these night creatures back whenever one of our counter-filled creatures might die. So it's sort of going to allow us to cycle our creatures, and if we have the Ozolith and we're putting counters onto the Ozolith and then back onto the Knights, and those Knights are dying and we still have the Lieutenant down, we'll just continue to make Knights, right? Felidar Retreat is actually a super fun and kind of, I don't want to say busted, but it's a very standalone bomb kind of card. Like, this card in and of itself could definitely win you a match of Magic if you're just playing a lot of control, right? So 4 mana, whenever your land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white cat beast token, which you can see on the right there. It looks super badass. And then you could also put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. Now, you do have to choose one, but ideally you're either going to already have a lot of creatures down and want to put all those counters in vigilance, or you're going to be building your board up with these 2/2 cats and then putting the counters, and so on and so forth. Finally, we are to Phylath, World Sculptor, 6 mana for this 5/5. Whenever it enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put 4 +1/+1 counters on target plant you control. Now, obviously, we have Conclave Mentor, so we've been putting 5, and so on and so forth. But the nice thing about this is when those plants die, if they die, then those counters are going to go into the Ozolith and then go back onto our other creatures. Phylath itself is a big old 5/5. We have, I will say, plenty of basic lands, right? We have 10, which means max you can create 10 plants, which is pretty good. But yeah, so we're going to be playing Phylath in a counters deck. That is the secret here. That's the cool, the twist, the whatever. But I think that's actually a good place for Phylath. We can ramp in this deck. We can have a good early game, and when those plants enter and get those counters, they're not just nothing. They're not just 4 5s in an empty deck with nothing else behind it. They're, you know, maybe 5 6s in a deck built to continue building them further. So, and then aside from that, we have 2 copies of Emeria's Call and 2 copies of Turntimber Symbiosis, because again, if you have the mythic lands, you should be playing them, folks. They're really, really good. Now, maybe not play all 4 copies in a deck, but 2 or 3, pretty good. Pretty freaking good. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's deck tech breakdown. I have a light shining through my window and it's really messing with my eyes, so hopefully I don't see too much of a glare off that. I hope y'all enjoyed the wrap up thingy mabobber here. Sorry, I'm smacking my mic. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and you know, there's ways to support the channel down below. I highly recommend you go check that out if you have any interest whatsoever. Anyways, without further ado, I'm going to shut up and we're going to hop into some magic. This is very volatile, I feel like, for me to keep, but no way am I not. No way, Jose, am I not keeping this. I really just like the Felidar Retreat, if I'm being honest with y'all. I haven't really played it yet. We could have went for the old early Cultivate there, but I'm not in a rush. I'm in no rusherino. Also, since we didn't go for the Cultivate, we can do, well, if we had, we probably still could have, right? That's okay. Feed the Swarm. What a card. What a card. Hell yeah, shock me. Shock me up something nice. Boom, bam. Now when we play the Fabled, we can either create 2 creatures, or we can create a creature and put counters, or we can put 2 counters on our Goose. We're probably going to create maybe just create 2 creatures. Also, we have Phylath, which means this Fabled Passage plus this Cultivator are really going to help to get him ready for the board, right? Him? It? She? Thing? I don't know. Oh, you're taking out my goose. My loose goose. Let's create tokens. Let's create them tokens. We are going to need red mana. How did you know, game? How did you know? It's like you're psychic. Argument could be made for red mana there. Alright, so we have a little bit of an army now. Little bitty army. Your Bone Crusher is not a challenge for my 3/3 kitties. I actually really enjoy this deck. It's sort of like a mid-rangey deck, and definitely meant to have fun with. But Phylath and Felidar Retreat, they are very nice. They are very, very nice. Of course, here comes the Eliminate or the Heartless Act on my Phylath. Yeah. Feed the Swarm. Whoa. Taking some damage. Taking some damage. I don't know if that's the right play or not. You gotta think about how much damage you're gonna be taking here. How much damage are you gonna be shaking, baking, and taking? We'll see. Of course, I'm swinging all in because we have no reason not to, right? Right. That's a GG. Good game. I should really stop doing accents. I don't even know what accents I'm doing at this point. I'm just sort of doing accents. Robert Wagenhofer. Alrighty. I like that name. Wow, what a hand. Yeah, we'll keep. We will keep for sure. So that's green, white, and blue. That is red, white. Alright, so I need green, white, right? So this needs to enter as white, and this needs to enter as green. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think we can go here first. Ooh, Ranger's Gal. I need like 1 more mana. Need like 1 more mana. I guess we'll go ahead and throw down the Luminarch Aspirant. Hope they don't have anything. I don't know what mono white has. That'd be removal, instant speed. Let's put it on the Conclave Mentor. Alrighty. We're not swinging in, that's for sure. No attacks. It's 1, 2, 3. This is an X. Shadow Skull. I guess you are on the back burner for now, buddy. For now. Ooh, Goose. Too bad we can't play other stuff. I do want the Fearless Fledgling down, but I know Wildwood gets ridiculous. So I think it's worth it to go ahead and get this guy down. See what I mean? See, huh? Now instead of just adding 2 counters, we added 4. Pretty dope if you ask me personally. That's gonna go on the Heliod. It is a 4/8. It can, or Daxos. I'm sorry, Heliod. Chance, you silly goose. Should have played the Fearless Fledgling there. It's okay. We can play the Conclave Mentor because I think 2 is better than 1. Last I checked. We're gonna go ahead and grab some red mana here, actually. And you get a buff. There we go. Alright, no attacks. We're here to build. We're here to build. London, oh shit. Speaking of building. Alright, so Heliod is going to get free swings for the time being. For the time being. Question is, are they going to... Okay. Never mind, I take back what I said. So, if I play Fearless Fledgling here, then play land, I can still play Luce Goose. But I wouldn't have mana for Ranger's Gall, and I definitely, well, could play both, and then I could use Lucy Goosey next turn. Yeah, that sounds good. Alright, so we're gonna go here. Bam. We're gonna go green here, actually. And we're gonna go here. And we have the 1 mana for Ranger's Gall next to combat. Then we're gonna go... you know, I almost want to just put him on the Hydra, but I know that's a waste, so... let's put him here, actually, because we know if we can get this thing flying, they don't have any defense against flying. Now we have a 13/13. That seems big enough, right? Seems like it can tango. Alright, I'll forget all about that creature. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. So we could block it with our Luminarch Aspirant. Oh, we might have to, actually. As much as that kind of hurts us. Oh, well now we can't even do that, right? Because they're going to put another counter there. Yeah, okay. So we're racing, kinda. Oh, 3 or greater. No, the Luminarch Aspirant can't even block it. Alright, so if I block with Goose, I think we save Goose for a later block. 5 damage isn't going to kill us, alright? Yeah. And since they're playing mono white, we know they can't... Well, they could gain protection, but they can't gain trample. Alright, my turn. My turn. This will be really good for us. So we could do this and have Ranger's Gall, or we could do Cultivate and double up our counters on Fearless Fledgling. That enters tap, but if I do Cultivate, I have the 1 from the land we play plus the 1 from Goose. So I could play, or I could play the Ooze. Alright, let's do this. Let's just go ahead and grab this and 1 of these, and I'll put the green down. And the red down. Yeah, I'll put the ooze down. I was thinking about it, but I think it's worth it. Ooze. Well, let's just build it. Let's just build it. Now I do need to start building up another creature as well. Let's put some counters on the ooze because we haven't yet. Alright. You know what? I shouldn't have swung it with Wildwood. I don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah, now they just get to crack back with Heliod for the Freeskies. For some reason I was like, yeah, just swing all in. It's all fun, but whoops. Alright, we'll see what Robert Wagenhofer has for us. Either way, this has been a fun match, so happy about that one. Happy. We haven't seen Phylath though, man. Could you imagine if we had? I guess we'd just now be able to play him though. We're not gonna be able to stop that beloved princess. Yeah, actually we're not going to be able to stop that beloved princess. Alright. That's fun. That's fun. We will kick you down. And we'll still have mana for Ranger's Gall. Look at that big boy coming in as 7/6. That's like a it's like a Carnage Tyrant that has haste. So they have plenty of blockers every which kind of way. You know what? Let's give some counters to Goose. If we're just gonna be doing this all in, because we know we're dead next turn to the beloved princess. We don't have anything to block it. I mean, of course we could have used the goose to chum block, but at a certain point you're like, you know what? Let's just play some Magic the Gathering. Fun. And hey, if nothing else, I got a big old Wildwood for you. We might actually want to think about running some protection in our deck, right? Because if we can protect our stuff from monocolored decks or even two-color decks, that's not too shabby. Yes, I do say. But we're dead. We're like 100% dead. That beloved princess is gonna crack us so hard. They're trying to make sure they can still live after the life gain off the Archon, which Archon does send them up to 31 health, so I'm assuming so, given we only have 13, 21, 30. Oh, we have 31 right there. Well, now they heal. Now they heal enough. Is there anything we could do? I mean, I guess we can go ahead and cast this here. It's our only course of action. Oh, hey. And then 7, yep. By 3. By 3. That's going to be the GG. Good game, good game. We got close, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Ba-da-da-da-da. Alright. I'm gonna be a respectful player. We're gonna let him finish it out here. Finish him. Like in Mortal Kombat, right? Except in Magic, you don't get to fatality somebody. Would be crazy if you did, and probably rated a much higher rating. Not higher as in like enjoyment, higher as in like kids can't play. Wouldn't be a Hasbro toy, let's put it that way, huh? Damn, yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to cut some Fable Passage, because we have been drawing Fable Passages in our starter hand all day long. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but fuck. Cut Herbert, all good. We're gonna mulligan this hand, because it was not all good. We're going to put back the Shatter Skull. We don't need it right now. We'll end up shuffling the deck with Fabled. And yeah, I don't really want to shock in that land when we have perfectly normal ones, if I'm being honest. Alright, so another control deck. Gotta say, I'm excited. There's nothing I love more than having my shit removed, counter, flip-flopped, and pushed around. It's pretty much exactly why I signed up to play Magic, right? I was like, you know what I want? I want to have hopes, dreams, and all that good stuff, and I want to have somebody come out and crush them. It's kind of what playing Magic feels like sometimes, right? When you're like, yeah, I was having a pretty good day. I crafted a deck I was pretty proud of. I sat down. I got shit on for 3 hours straight playing that deck. You know, life goes on. What can I say? Don't invest too much, or you're gonna get pooped on. Alright, so we can go for the 2/2 coil, or we can save that mana. I think we just go for the 1. There's no reason in tapping Goose out. Stressing a little loosey-goosey. Also, isn't it funny the way the Magic world works? You have a golden goose that when it enters the battlefield, it doesn't shit out golden eggs. It poops out a boar's head, right? And garlic and an apple and dead pheasants, and you're just like, shouldn't this food token be an egg? Be a little golden egg, a little Easter golden. Yo, bro, for real, bitch. You're just like, nah, that Elspeth's Nightmare doesn't work. I got another one for you. The fuck? What's up with everyone being so goddamn hostile nowadays? Can we just get some non-removal Magic, please? And thank you. That'd be great. Jesus. Oh, this is a fucking Dance of the Man's deck. Yuck. What time is it? Hold up. Oh yeah, it's almost 11. Alright, well. Well. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I'm really not. So they're gonna sacrifice their Elspeth's Nightmare come next turn. What am I sacrificing? Probably the Loosey Goosey, right? Probably the little Loosey Goosey. Okay. So they sack out Elspeth's Nightmare. They're up to 4 mana. They're 4 mana. They're up to 4 cards. They gotta have a creature here, right? They don't play another... Well, I mean, I guess they could play another Elspeth's Nightmare, destroy Conclave Mentor, and then sack Elspeth's Nightmare come next turn, given we have no cards in hand. Boy, that'd be depressing. No, yeah, it feels like the middle of the day for Magic the Gathering is terrible for control. You can play early in the morning, you'll find some good jank. You can play late at night, but I feel like in the middle of the day, and I feel like I've been saying this for 2 years, in the middle of the day, the control Magic is so heavy. Boy, what a riveting turn. What an absolute, like, just stellar ass turn. Let's see. Do we want to sack out Conclave? It's like, honestly, these two other cards are pretty strong, pretty powerful. Sure. Well, at least now when we go to sacrifice the Basri's Lieutenant, we will get something back from it, right? Or we could sacrifice Stonecoil first. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. No blocks. That's strange. They could have an instant speed permanent here if they want to not have to sacrifice Doom Foretold. I guess we'll see, though. We shall see. We shall see. Nope, that's not it. Alright, so they're sacrificing Doom Foretold. Thank God. Absolutely hate that card. Like, because aside from playing it at the right time, there is no, like, thinking with Doom Foretold. You just... Alright. You know what I love the most? It's these Esper cocksuckers that are the same people that are complaining about the big Euro and the big Omnath. They're like, no, that's ridiculous. Nobody should be able to play that much in one turn if I can't counter that much in one turn, right? Because the aggro people are like, I mean, whatever. My goal has always been to just go underneath. So the only people really bitching right now are the control people, I feel like, that are like, hey, we were the top end decks for a while. Now what are these ramp decks doing here? But aggro's still chugging along. I guess mid-range kind of got obliterated by the whole meta of things, right? Mid-range is now just ramp. Like, that is the mid-range. It's not very mid-rangey either. How are you gonna put me through all that shit and you just concede? You don't even give me the pleasure of smashing in. Bade's Moth. Bade's Moth. We need. Oh no, we have it with Amiria's Call. Right. All right, I'm keeping this. I was gonna say we need white mana, but we don't. Whoa, that's not what I was trying to do. We just want to enter you tapped. Chill out. Garrison Cat, what a spicy kitty. What a spicy kitty. I think I want the Conclave down first. Conclave then Luminarch, or Luminarch then Conclave. Either way, you have a 2/2 on the board, right? Guess we'll figure it out. We'll super sleuth it out. Fireblade Charger, that's really good considering we have the Cultivate. Or Scatter. Fireblade Charger. Shatter Skull Charger, right? I actually should have put that on Conclave so we could have fully blocked the Seasoned Hollow Blade. Oh well. I'm always trying to bring up the weakest link, you know. I'm always thinking about the lowest man on the totem pole. Not worrying about my life total, worrying about the total life of us all. Alrighty, so we'll Fabled Passage here. We could get down Basri's Lieutenant. I think that does give us a bit more strength in the board, but I don't think our creatures are going to be dying necessarily here. I think they're going to be getting exiled, if anything. So maybe I do just go for the Shatter Skull Charger, because one of the nice things about Shatter Skull Charger with the Luminarch Aspirant is putting the counter on it, and then you just get a 3-mana trample haste, you know, big-ass, badass creature. And if I do go for Cultivate, I can still play Goose here. Little Luce Goose, right? I think we go for the Cultivate. Let's do it. We're here to have fun. We're not here to play a deck from last season. Alright. Boom. Loosey Goosey. Five. I need to play responsibly. And then, yeah, on our next turn, 3 mana into this Shatter Skull. 1, 2, 3. And, oh, goodness, we'll have enough for the Basri's Lieutenant come next turn as well, actually. That is downright amazing. So hopefully Luminarch Aspirant won't get removed here. I'm really banking on the fact that they don't have 1 mana flashy combat trickery shenanigans. Maybe protection? I'm missing something here. Maybe I shouldn't have blocked. We'll see. Fight is 1. I knew it. Luminarch, no. It's okay, because we can still do this, right? Yeah, we can. We can. I don't want to kick you. Although it does automatically put a counter on, but it means we can't play that, so yeah. Right. Oh man, that Luminarch Aspirant, actually I really shouldn't have blocked with her. I knew they were planning something. I'm just feeling real gullible this morning. What can I say? 6/5 with trample. Hello. It also has haste, but I don't know that we can afford to swing in with it. So for Shatter Skull, we could pay 4. Take out Stonecoil. Or we can make them discard a card and go for Season to end the Garrison Cat, right? Glorious Anthem. It is a glorious, glorious anthem. Also, that glorious anthem means that we can't use Shatter Skull now to take out 2 of their creatures. Alright, so we get the little 1-1 back. Or 2-2, sorry. 1-1. Thankfully not. I could play this, or I could play this and deal 2. Actually, I like the idea of going for this and then boosting up the goose, because then we only need to draw 1 land. Alright, no attacks. I feel like we should chum block this here as we're down to 12 life. Boop. Thank goodness Shatter Skull isn't instant speed, right? Oh, and they're just playing down a Stonecoil. I mean, that is a big old 7/7. There's nothing to sneeze at that. Let's make sure we create our food. Eat up, ladies and gents. Eat the fuck up. 2, 4. No! It's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. Those Stonecoils are fucking thick. Fucking thick. Alright, well, GG. I think I lost it when I lost the Luminarch Aspirant. Future note. Don't block with your Luminarch, just build.